different.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod.
What's up, you guys? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. I was unaware that today was Casual Friday, so I am dressed quite differently from producer Josh.
I need to match your energy level right now. I'm not there right now, but I will.
Haley the Bear.
I'm working out after this, sorry.
And Ryan from Miami, who's not here.
He is getting on a plane.
Crickets.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. For those of you that were looking for the podcast last week, just so you know, there was a bunch of stuff going on. She was violently ill. He was getting back from being on the road. Ryan stayed up until like 30 minutes before the podcast in Las Vegas. I think I was pretty much the only one that was ready to go. I mean, I think
I was ready.
You and me could have made it work.
I was ready to do it. I just wanted to make a call one way or the other.
We could have done between two ferns.
Just a conversation with Chris and Josh.
Yeah, exactly.
I had food poisoning. That was not fun.
Do you know what it was from? Do you know what you ate?
The only thing I can think of is what I had. Like, I had street corn from a food court.
You know, as one does.
So, food court corn.
Yes. I'm assuming that's what it was, because the only other thing it could have been someone else had a bite of and they did not get sick. So that's the only thing. Oh, you want me to do that?
Since we don't have Ryan.
I got you.
That's it. Normally, this is the part of the podcast. If you guys have never watched before, this is called The Quad because there's four of us
I
normally.
can pull it up really fast. It doesn't take me long like Ryan.
And there's four topics.
So-
Movies, music, sports, and a hot take. And Ryan always does the poll before we get started, and he never has it pulled up. So we berate him about it. And right now he's not here and he can't defend himself. So there you go, Ryan.
We can say whatever we want right now.
Well, I do have the poll pulled up, and the last poll from 2 weeks ago was, if you were kidnapped, which movie character would you want to save you?
Let me guess, it was John Wick.
It was John Wick. Keanu
Which
Reeves
is
with
BS.
50%.
That is such BS because he doesn't save anyone, people. All of the people that he's going to revenge are already... Come on.
I'm just saying, he needs a pencil and that's it.
Yeah, I get it. He is very capable. He's one of my favorite action movie characters ever. Like applause, flowers, all the things for Keanu Reeves. But let's be honest. If I want someone saving me, I don't want it to be the guy that let everyone else get.
Well, yeah, second place is Liam Neeson with 28%. Denzel Washington was third with 22%.
So basically, second place is first. Okay, got it.
I think it's just a W.
No, I don't. No.
The people have spoken.
Collusion.
You can let.
Oh gosh, don't pull the collusion.
I'm bringing it back. Collusion.
We're only a couple months out. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Is it even a couple months?
Yeah, November.
Yeah.
You know the election's this year, right?
You do realize that.
I thought you were talking about football season.
No, he was making. See, I don't talk politics or. Look, we're not getting into that. That can be a you and Ryan podcast. That's fine.
That would be
Y'all
interesting.
leave that over there.
So Palestine.
No. Let's go to music.
Any thoughts on Hamas?
Let's go to music.
Music.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, so you do speak.
Yeah.
You do speak
Young Love and Saturday Nights. Still the single. We are climbing towards the top of the chart. It's been a lot of fun seeing this album and this song do really, really well on the radio. I do find it hyper interesting that because people are putting out so much music, which alluding to you releasing all of your things individually.
Yes.
I will tell you the downfall of that is if you do not gain traction with one of those, or if you do space your singles out and adhere to a radio timeline, now people's bandwidth is so small. I did interviews for a fingers crossed, possibly number one push in a couple of weeks that I was on interviews with people in radio, and they were like, so this is great that this is your first single off this album. And I was like, no, it's not. In fact, you played the first single off this album. It's called Looking for You.
Yep.
Before we ever put this album out.
Yep.
Just because the title is Young
It's
Love
the
and Saturday
title track
Nights.
of the album, but not the first single.
Yeah. So prep is out the window for some people, evidently.
Can you explain to the people listening what goes into a number one push? Because
Yeah.
I think people we'd be interested to hear.
Hours and hours and hours of interviews sitting like this to camera, and basically whether I'm going to their studio or I'm doing it from a centralized location, which is where a lot of them get done, it is sit down interviews at like 15, 20-minute intervals all day long. And it is not contained to just one day. There are actually some interviews coming up this week that I'm doing. Like, for example, Lon Helton. You sit down and you do a talk about the song, what's going on. You do the entire show. So if you guys have ever heard Lon Helton's Countdown, that's just like one piece of the puzzle that you put together to have a push. And not just for number one, but for like if you're trying to get it as high as it can go, if it goes to number 3 or it gets top 5. Like, those are the things that you have to do, and they take multiple days and a lot of scheduling time. And there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, essentially, by doing this press, you're helping them have more content, and so in return, the hope is that perhaps they spin the song 1 or 2 more times per station, all at the same time, which makes that magic number that crests the song to go to number 1. In the most simplest version of it.
I would liken it to when you see a media tour for a movie.
Sure.
When they're getting ready to drop the movie, that is basically in reverse what you do with a song.
Yeah, it's
at
like
the end of the life cycle of a song on radio, you do all of that press tour.
Yeah.
And you're constantly doing press. But
what if we created a Hot Ones, but for music, when people are trying to push to number 1?
okay, well then what do you make it? Because you can't just cop the style of Hot Ones and have people eat hot wing sauce.
They have to jump out of a plane. I don't know. I haven't. I'm workshopping this right now.
Workshopping. You didn't think through the ending.
No,
You started at A, but you don't have a Z.
This is a long form podcast. I just talk. Things come out of my brain. You know.
Also, shout out, since we were not on last week, I will hit all of them. Las Vegas, Seattle, Jacksonville, Oregon are the places that I've been in the past week. Absolutely amazing shows. Las Vegas was incredible. Jacksonville, Oregon was incredible. And then something I don't do very often anymore, but I opened for my friend Kane Brown in Seattle, which was really, really cool. We got to play the Mariners ball field. It was great. It was absolutely gorgeous.
On that show, do you come out during his set for Famous Friends, or does he?
I saved Famous Friends for his set, and I talked to him beforehand. I was like, "Do you want to do that during your set?" And he goes, "I mean, if you want to hold it, like I've got it in my show," and so we did, and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I saw Niagara Falls for the first time.
Okay.
That was very exciting.
Yeah.
Niagara, and then Canandaigua, which took me a little bit to pronounce, because if you look at that word, that's a very confusing number of vowels. And then Montreal, which I had never been to Montreal either, for the Lasso Festival, which was bonkers. It's like 2 giant stages right next to each other, and then everyone in the crowd. It was really cool.
So, by the way, I do want to just give them a shout out, even though they're not necessarily a sponsor, but it was T-Mobile Park. That's the Mariners ballpark. So
T-Mobile, if you're listening, I'm
I could have
happy.
used your cell service this weekend.
I could have used your cell service this weekend. I'm throwing it out there. I am on a competitor's plan right now. Ball's in your court, T-Mobile. I look good in hot pink, so
Well, there you go.
or fuchsia or whatever that color would be considered.
One of the jerseys that you wore was
Yeah, it was
partially
almost that
hot
color.
pink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's there. All right, let's go to what are you listening to, Bear?
This song's been pretty popular, so I'm pretty sure if you've listened to pop, you can recall what it is. But Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter. Don't know why I love that song. Also love the TikToks of the people looking at their dogs singing that chorus. So, love it.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. Josh?
Just this last week, after a 23-year break between seeing them the last time I saw them, I went and saw Creed
Oh,
here in Nashville, Tennessee,
I forgot about that.
at Ascend Amphitheater. And it was a 10 out of 10 on the nostalgia factor. 10 out of Finger 11 and Tonic opened up, which was just like
That's so funny.
throwback central. And then, man, for all the jokes and all of the, yeah, I'm Scott Stapp stuff that people do, dude can still sing. Like, he still had it. Was he quirky? Sure. Was he very sweaty immediately? Absolutely. Very
Oh,
concerning.
well, okay. First of all,
He's wearing leather pants in the middle of August, so I get it. I get it.
Being very sweaty on stage is not a sign of you're older.
No.
It might just be you were wearing leather pants on stage in August.
But it was like someone dumped a bucket of water on him like almost immediately. I was like, my guy.
What was the age range there?
Oh, it was
wide.
It was weird. So it's like everyone was like either 35 and older or like 19 and like TikTok fans.
I was
'cause-
about to say you got all the way down there. I didn't know there'd be anyone under the age of 25.
Wow.
So the resurgence of Creed as a like, I don't know if butt rock is now like in the
that's what it's called, right?
it's called butt rock.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like people are making fun of it and the young kids are going, or if like it's just having its moment again because they're discovering it for the first time or whatever. But yeah, age ranges were all over the place. Got to wave. He was in the pit, and I was in seats, but Michael Ray was there. So I said hello to him.
Emery.
Anyway, that's a long way to say, I'm going to choose the classic What If by Creed.
There it is. I love it.
But production was awesome.
I would have
The show was
totally gone
great.
and seen them.
It was great. They will be back in Nashville in November
Dang, already.
at Bridgestone, which I may or may not go to that as well.
I'm going to go with Lose Control, Teddy Swims.
Like it.
Nice.
Like it.
We may have gone there before.
I have before, but that was
But-
a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was her choice. It's your choice today. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's my choice. So that song is just fun to listen to. Vocally, it's
Teddy
incredible.
Swims is just insane.
He's impeccable. He really is.
I don't know why. I understand that he's big. I don't know how he's not like
Huge.
Ed Sheeran big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He got big between his niche of people. It wasn't super. He was big before he was on radio, I guess you could say.
Right.
So I'm happy that he's finally getting like radio singles, if that makes any sense.
But like, where would he play does he do like Bridgestone if he comes to Nashville, or is that more of like like what size venue does he?
Okay. I don't know. I have to bring this up. Do you hear that whistle every now and then? You don't even notice it, do you?
No.
It's an audio thing, and it's something you do when you breathe in.
Oh yeah. No,
It's so it took
It's
me
my
forever.
allergies.
It took me forever to figure it out, and it goes away when you don't have allergies. When
Yeah,
it's not like this
100%.
time of year.
Dog, my snoring
And-
is out of control right now. It's awful.
Bruh.
I'm sorry.
Imagine going from no, you're fine. Imagine going from here to Seattle to Oregon back to here.
I was in Montreal yesterday.
Well,
get it.
yeah, but the elevation change
For sure.
is massive.
Yeah.
And it was like we got, you know what? I'm getting on my soapbox. Hold up. I love Southwest.
Oof.
I've probably been on more Southwest flights than just about anybody. What is up with Southwest not wanting to come give you more than one water or one drink on a 4-hour flight?
Interesting.
They did not come by at all yesterday.
Huh. I've not had that experience. Generally, on anything over 3 hours, they'll at least pop back through and go, do you want anything?
No.
Maybe it was just that crew. I don't know if it's the whole airline. Southwest.
I can say
you're-
that
if you're
I've seen
listening-
it happen more than once, and it's not, again, I love Southwest. I was supposed to do something with Southwest earlier this year that did not happen because some jackass from the TABC decided to falsely arrest me. Yeah, super fun. Lost quite a bit of money on that. But yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
And especially like an early morning flight too. Like if you didn't grab a water on your way onto the plane,
Yeah. You'd assume an early 4-hour flight, at least 2 rounds of coffee service. Let's tweet at him right now, see if we can get an answer.
let's don't. How about that?
I'm already on it.
Also, evidently, coffee is hydrating. A lot of people think coffee dehydrates you. It has been factually proven.
Isn't it a diuretic, though, so then you pee more, so then it's dehydrating?
You know?
I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't know.
All right. We've gotten off topic. Let's go to sports.
Yep, sorry.
Do not tweet at Southwest.
I was trying to. Stop.
Do not do it, Josh.
Stop ruining my fun.
I will. I would still like to work with Southwest in the future. I've already done stuff with them in the past. I'm not calling out them specifically. It was that one flight.
I once got in an argument whether teal was a green or a blue, and so I tweeted at Crayola to weigh in on it,
Oh, no.
and they answered. So you can
What
get
did
it.
they say?
What do you think they said? What do you think it is?
Blue.
It's a shade of green.
It's a shade of green, and Crayola confirmed that it's a shade of green.
Yeah, it is a shade of green.
It's blue.
It's not.
No.
If I believe that Crayola would be the
I
authority.
believe Crayola.
I believe.
stand with Crayola.
Make T-shirts. I stand with Crayola. I believe in Crayola.
My family has Marine Corps up and down my family line, and if you understand why that's funny while I'm referencing Marine Corps and Crayola, then you win. Neither one of y'all do you?
No, I
sure
do.
don't.
I do. I know.
Okay. So let's talk about football. Have we actually seen anything other than Bo Nix surprisingly being impressive? And I say surprisingly just because it wasn't much talked about. Not that we didn't think he was a great quarterback. But, I mean, it's preseason. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. But he looks really good.
I just have a separate comment.
Go ahead.
Everyone needs to get off my butthole and saying the fact that, look at the Bears. They're amazing. They're amazing. I said, we always win preseason games. We literally do. Go back. We win preseason games.
Nobody cares that the Cowboys lost to a trash touchdown against the 3s and 4s
No.
to the Rams last week.
But then
Nobody
why are
cares
they-
that we won this week with Trey Lance. No, Trey Lance has not proven anything. He has not proven that he's good. Cooper Rush is better than Trey Lance, in my opinion.
So is Ben DiNucci.
I just
Welcome to Ben DiNucci Island.
Oh my god. I don't. I sound like I'm just like going after Trey Lance, and I'm not. I just don't see it.
I see Trey Lance as the Cowboys will be able to trade him to someone else for a future piece.
That's how we got him.
Yeah, that's it. It's a trade piece. So Haley, so you were not wowed by Caleb Williams throwing a over the back shoulder pass to Rome?
Maybe if it was against all the one defensive line. But until I see it happening in real season games when everyone has their starters out there, then and people actually care about the game, because let's be real, a lot of the people don't care that are playing that game. They're like, we're just out here to get some reps. We're not out here to win the game.
For example, the Cowboys' first round pick looked really good on the offensive line. He looked really good. Our first game of the season, he's going to be up against Myles Garrett.
Who makes everyone look terrible. So
that will prove how good he is.
Yep.
And that's just how it works. I mean, like, I hate to say it, but the people that are playing in the preseason are competing for roster spots and who gets cut.
So when I sit here and say I want the Bears to prove me wrong, I would like to have an exciting season. I want to be excited to watch my football team and not just be excited to watch players on my fantasy team. I care about my team, but I want to be able to be excited to watch them. I haven't had that in years.
Are you going to paint your nails to match Caleb Williams every game?
Oh my gosh.
Do you guys go to the same nail person? They look similar.
Again, Caleb Williams needs to show up and show out every game of the regular season.
Every game?
Every game. Caleb Williams, you heard it here first.
Prove it to Haley. Then
Prove it to Haley. You have to show up every single game. If you lose one game, then the Bears still suck.
Yeah, I've learned nothing from preseason. I mean, truly, except for the fact that Patrick Mahomes pulled off the behind the back pass, but
but he does that stuff all the time. We watched him in the Super Bowl that he lost do an incredible sidearm, like falling
upside down throw.
He trains that. Mm-hmm. He's admitted to the fact that he trains throwing right and left-handed from odd angles. Like, that is just something that he's capable of that most people aren't. And I think a lot of that is the baseball background.
For sure. Oh, yeah, he's a good athlete, and he trains like an athlete, which is awesome.
He trains constantly.
Just can't get too tricky all the time.
We'll see. Gardner Minshew named starting QB for the Las Vegas Raiders.
The stash,
which I'm excited for.
I saw that yesterday and I showed him and I was like, that
does
actually
he
is
still have
exciting
the
to watch.
stash?
Oh yeah, come on,
yeah.
That dude is
Minshew,
all charisma.
He just, he's a NASCAR fan.
For sure. I'm going to go a step further. I'm pretty sure he's a Chris Young fan. If we had to figure it out.
I would love if Gardner Minshew was like, yeah, I listen to country music. Not even just, I'm taking myself out of the equation. Would
you like me to tag him and see if he responds in a poll?
Like, do we think Gardner Minshew, don't do that.
I'm doing it right now.
Do it.
Oh my God. All right.
I'm just going to tweet at him, see what happens.
Since Ryan's not here, do we have a chance to talk about Major League Baseball that doesn't exist in Florida?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. We're sort of in a lull right now. This is
until
the weirdest.
Baseball gets closer to playoffs.
The end. So this is the problem. Right now, I would argue is worse than the lull after NFL ends, because it's like we just had an Olympics. NFL really hasn't started yet, even though it sort of has. College football hasn't started yet, but it's about to get college football. By the way, shout out to my buddy Chase, who is already talking smack about the SEC and saying that the Tennessee Vols are going to be amazing this year, and they're going to win more games than Texas. I would love to see Chase just appear for 5 minutes on this podcast and like actually make a bet where he has to wear a shirt that says the real UT on it.
We can make this happen.
Yeah, we should do this.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Texas being officially designated as TEX instead of UT.
Yeah, but I believe if you go back in time, and the reason that Tennessee gets so upset about that with their fan base is Texas and Tennessee were in a lawsuit over who could use the power T, as it is called.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas won. They were like, y'all both can use UT.
Oh, so they filed to like to block.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see.
Tennessee filed against Texas.
So then Tennessee had it first?
No.
Well, then why did they file to block if Texas was trying
because
to...
Texas started using the power T again, and they were like, oh, no. I would have to go look into the specifics of what the actual lawsuit was. But basically the end-all be-all was they can both use it.
Yeah. It is just a letter.
I think that's probably the crux of it.
I think how many teams are named like the Wildcats or
Right?
the Falcons,
Panthers
the
and-
Panthers,
The Panthers?
the Panthers.
You know,
Panthenons?
them Panthers.
I was thinking of Falcons and I said Panthers and I said Panthers.
It's just like the Pantheon, and it's just like
Yeah.
a big city as the mascot.
That'd be
walking
cool.
around. Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Like the big building.
Yeah, like New York Liberty. It's cool.
Okay. Anyway,
Shout out Sabrina.
shout out Sabrina. We shall see what happens, especially the next couple weeks. Things are going to get very, very interesting, and we have the fantasy football draft coming up. So, who would you take with your first pick?
I don't want the first pick. Can I trade out of the first pick if I end up with it?
No, if you
because
get
it's
it,
an
you got to
automatically
take it.
it's automatic because remember it's automatically made through the website, so you can't
I
change it.
hate having the first pick.
Yeah, because then you don't get to pick till 20.
I am so aware.
Watch it be me.
My favorite, I love to pick number 4. Love 4. 4 is the sweet spot for me.
I like 4 or 5.
I actually like either pick 3 or pick 7.
You like to be able to like bang.
You want to have one of like the top 3 best, and then when it snakes around in a snake draft, for those of you guys that are listening that don't play fantasy football, basically in a snake draft situation, if you get 10 teams, if you pick third, you go 1, 2, your pick, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it goes backwards until you get to where the third position would be again. So you basically, it's 18th, I think.
Yes, it goes
1,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
But then
9,
you
10.
immediately turn around and pick 4 picks later.
Right. And then you have to wait another 17 or whatever. Yeah. If I had to go number 1, I would take Christian McCaffrey but I just hate going. I hate the first pick.
I got to tell you right now, I would not take Christian McCaffrey this year with pick number 1. And the only reason is I basically was in a situation where I had to take him last year.
He's
and
injury
he
prone.
balled out. He was amazing. He wasn't injury prone last year.
Which means it's coming this year.
that there's
This was why I don't
law
want.
of averages. I'm not wishing ill upon Christian McCaffrey. I think he's
Can we
fantastic.
side bet? Can I like tell
I'm
someone
a
whoever's
Dallas Cowboys fan saying
Like-
I think Christian McCaffrey is
like, can
fantastic.
I trade down to the 4th pick and just tell them that I'll trade them whatever they want to pick at number 1? Can I do it that way?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we don't know who it's going to be until an hour before the draft or whatever.
Would you? Okay. What if we instituted a rule where if you wanted to make a trade, you can't trade future year picks, but you treat it like the regular NFL draft, and you can trade like a 6 and a 7.
The only way
For
we'd
2.
be able to do that is if we did it in person.
Yeah, we'd have to do it on the. No, I mean
No.
you could pick it. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
You have to mark it, and then immediately when you're available to trade
Ask the
players,
person what they want.
you would trade those 2 players for the player that they pick at 2, which would be your pick. Does that make sense?
That
I
would
feel
be a
like
lot.
I feel like with it's begging to get screwed up in those later rounds. I know how our technology goes when we're trying to draft, and
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah, but if you're trading
I
for a
think
6 and a 7,
I think you should be able to do it in the first round only. Just trade up or down within the first round. If you want Christian McCaffrey with number 1,
No.
I'll take your number
why?
5.
Yeah, okay. And then what do they get in compensation?
I get who I want at 5.
No, that's a terrible idea.
All right,
Let's
well,
go to the movie.
I want everyone to know that I will, if I have to pick number 1, I'm happy to trade whoever Christian McCaffrey.
Let's go to the movie.
There's so much more I want to talk about
Hang on.
fantasy.
That doesn't even make any sense because your whole argument was then you have to wait to pick until 10th or
Yeah.
20th.
Yeah, you're right.
That doesn't
I would
make you.
just-
Why would you
I
trade
would- I
one
guess
for
I would just,
5?
I guess I would just draft who I wanted to
Exactly.
draft. I just hate the position of being in.
That's what I
first.
said made way more sense than you guys just
Yeah, but it's gonna
poo-pooed me.
But I mean, like, it's just
Okay.
never going to work. This is a good moment to bring up. We could do the worst fantasy team ever draft this year. Have we talked about this?
We have.
Mm-hmm.
But
Explain for the people that have not listened to this.
Right. So
before.
let's assume that it's 10 teams on in our league, right? So then we go just depth of.
So would it sound like? Would that
Yes.
be your team noise?
It could be, or just a giant fart. You would have a preset depth chart that you could draft off of. So it's just the first stringers of running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. So all of the starters that we can project at the beginning of the season. And the depth is only so deep, right? And you are trying to build.
That's what depth means. Yes.
Yes, correct. You are trying to build the worst team possible. So like it's a preset. So there's however many spots there are.
You're
what,
basically
12?
playing golf.
So like, yeah.
You want to score the least points.
So like, let's say there's 12 spots and then whatever to a running back PPR lineup, right?
I just described it. You just want to score the least amount of points.
Right. But there's only then 120 people that you can choose from. So the very last pick is going to be a Christian McCaffrey, a Patrick Mahomes, whoever is really good is like the last pick. So those last rounds you're going, crap, I have to get.
Can't you just pick a bunch of undrafted players?
No,
that's what
the
he's
point.
saying.
That's
He's
what I'm
saying that when you go in reverse order, so
You have a
basically
sheet
pick
with-
the worst, like the player that might play relief snaps, and then you go all the way down to in the last round, you have to pick from the first pick.
It's a depth chart. Let's say there's 12 spots, right? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, kicker, defense.
so
right?
in
that's
that league,
9.
your last pick, you would almost want them to get hurt.
Yeah. So in your
Which
9
you don't
spots.
want anyway. Why don't you
I know.
say
It's
stuff like that?
so terrible. So there's 9 spots in your lineup, right? And there's 10 teams. There's only a set list of 90 people that you can draft from.
Gotcha.
10 tight ends, 10 quarterbacks.
I would be fighting my inner soul so much with my real fantasy team.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
That's what makes it hilarious.
That's the point.
Is like you're taking the worst kicker you can possibly get.
You would absolutely have to make like the best toilet bowl trophy of all time. for that
Absolutely.
league.
It'd be 9 feet tall. Like it would be just.
People walk into your house and be like, "Oh man, did you lose at fantasy football?"
We
We're like,
could
"No,
get-
I won." That's,
Was it Kohler that makes the actual toilets? Like we get them to donate one and spray paint it gold. I don't know.
we just go to Home Depot, baby.
It's 119
Yeah.
bucks. We'll be all right. Just put a chain on it, try to lift. I don't know. It's like Mjolnir. But that would be the point. The point is like the last couple of rounds, you're just sitting there going, crap, I have to get Bijan Robinson or Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to put up a lot of points. Who's going to put up the least amount?
gotcha.
All right, now that
We'll do it
let's
again.
do it again. Movies. Trap was the movie. Hopefully you guys saw it. I know that neither one of you did. Am I gonna ruin this?
No.
For
No.
y'all. Okay, cool. 2024 PG-13 horror mystery, 1 hour and 45 minutes.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, M. Night Shyamalan.
M.
Anemone.
Dude, again, I go back to shout out to my mom for ruining The Sixth Sense for me when I was in high school, because I had been at a retreat and I came back and the very first thing she told me was the ending of the movie.
It's great. Really
Awesome. So a man and his teenage daughter realize they're at the center of a dark and sinister event while watching a concert, which is the most vague thing that I've ever heard written on this app. Good Lord. And they give more away in the trailer than they do
Sure.
in that right there.
Sure.
I mean, it's pretty much explained what's going on, so I don't even feel like we have to hit the spoiler button. But if you want to skip ahead a little bit, you can.
Time for some spoilers.
Basically, this is Josh Hartnett as a guy named Cooper who's like supposed to be a normal suburban dad. He takes his daughter to a concert to see her favorite artist, but he's a serial killer and he's known as the Butcher. And there's an FBI sting operation at the concert. He notices what's going on, basically, and his escape plan is he connives his way to get his daughter pulled up on stage so he can escape from backstage, because that's the only egress that they aren't controlling. He disguises himself, and then later he like reveals his true identity and he gets arrested. But at the end, the final scene shows him laughing and like suggesting he's escaped. Like, you don't really know if he escaped, but it suggests he escaped.
cool.
That's it.
For-
That's literally the entire movie. I just saved you an hour and 45 minutes.
So let's assume that Signs and Sixth Sense are off the board. What's
Best M. Night Shyamalan
yeah?
movie?
What's the next one for you guys?
You would have to name them because
Hang on.
Unbelievably, you have a phone right in front of you. You could look it up.
you know what you.
I
you
am
right.
going to pull a Ryan and give you Ryan's list this year of top 5 M. Night Shyamalan movies ranked.
I will tell you mine. Or do you want me? You want to do the list first?
Let me do the list, and
Glass.
I already knew where you were going to go. So at number 5, The Visit. At number 4, Unbreakable. At number 3 is Signs. At number 2, Split. And at number 1 is The Sixth Sense. So when you remove those, 2 out of the top 5 are from the trilogy of Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
Right.
Which, that's a great trilogy.
It is a great trilogy. They've got Trap at 7, which seems odd.
That seems high. Where's Lady in the Water?
They've got Glass got a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Get out of
I
here.
did not-
That's wrong.
I did not like Glass.
You didn't
Oh,
like
come
Glass?
on, man.
Nope. Loved
Come
Split,
on.
hated Glass.
I liked it.
Obviously, Signs is.
Mine would be The
Legendary.
Village.
Man, I get why you would go there. No, son.
What do you mean? No? It's my opinion. You can't tell me no on my opinion.
That movie is so dumb.
Why is that dumb?
Even when it came out. I mean, it's not even on the top 15.
That's fine. It's my list. I didn't make that list.
I know. I get it. Everything is subjective. It's art.
Yeah.
But
Did anyone else watch Knock at the Cabin? That movie was
Yeah.
so messed up.
we
We
talked
talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, you're right. I didn't see it then. Well, I finally did.
Oh
watch
my
it.
God.
Welcome to the
Welcome
podcast.
to the pod.
We've been doing it for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a lot of movies to remember. I didn't see it then. But anyways, I would definitely put Signs on there, but I loved Glass and Split.
I sort of liked The Happening.
The Happening is
Really?
good. Yeah, I like The Happening.
You liked The Happening more than The Village?
Yes. I don't think either one of them are great, but yeah.
I'm blown away. I did like Old. I thought Old was pretty interesting.
I'll give you that one. I liked Old.
That- the
I
twist-
didn't realize he did Wide Awake.
Yeah.
The twist on Old was good. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I did also like Old.
Okay. I would say probably mine if you take away Signs, which was my favorite, I would go with Unbreakable. I really liked that movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
I liked Split more than I liked Unbreakable.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, here's the thing, though. You can't have Split
Without Unbreakable.
without Unbreakable.
Right, but I still like Split better.
He was absolutely incredible in Split. I get it. It's creepier. They never really said that Unbreakable was a superhero film, and I think if they had marketed it that way,
It might
people would have liked it more.
Yeah, it's possible. Can someone check in on James McAvoy? Because I'm scared for his mental health between
All of
Split
this.
Oh God! Between
then-
having to do that,
So-
yeah.
and whatever this new movie that's coming out.
I ironically just saw a meme that says if you see this actor in the movie, you know it's going to be messed up.
Yeah, like he does like unhinged, not quite right guy,
I mean, he pulled off Professor X.
and was incredibly charming at it. He might be a very underrated actor.
I think he's underrated.
I get nervous sometimes.
You're like, oh God.
Because these movies, I'm like, ooh. Like if I ran into him and like he's just downtown Nashville and I just run into him on the street, I feel like I wouldn't be like, oh my God, congrats on such an incredible
You'd be
career.
scared.
I'd be like, hey man, is this Patricia or are you James McAvoy right now?
Which one are you right now?
Which
one
crazy
are you?
character
Yeah.
do you play?
Which you're like, right now, which character are you? Because I need to know.
I need to know before I continue this conversation. What was the one where they bend the bullets?
Oh God!
What was
Is
that
it,
called?
Wanted,
Wanted, yeah.
dude. That where
That
he
movie
hits
was
him,
awesome.
Where he hits him with the keyboard
And,
yeah,
his teeth fly out.
well, and the two keys that
Yeah.
fly off the keyboard are
F you, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Since Ryan's not here and he can't stop us, next week, Alien Romulus.
Oh,
It is rated R. Obviously, if you've ever seen an
Very
Alien
creepy
movie,
alien figures in it.
If you're someone with indigestion problems, you're not gonna like this movie.
if you're somebody that has pretty much any fear whatsoever of certain
you-
things,
if
just
you're
don't
afraid-
watch this.
Of
Anything.
yes,
Aliens,
darkness,
darkness, being trapped,
spicy foods.
asphyxiation, spicy food.
Being eaten alive.
I missed that one. That was good. That was good. That was good. That was real quick. He just went spicy foods. If you don't know what we're talking about, you haven't seen Alien.
You haven't seen Alien. So
Yeah, it's got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I've seen nothing but like glowing reviews on it. I know there's like a couple parts that I guess people don't like. I've stayed away from spoilers because I really do want to watch it.
and to be clear, it's Aliens Romulus, but not set in the Star Trek universe. Correct?
No, it is not.
It's not a crossover. Captain Kirk isn't going to fly in at some point.
No, what was it? Wrath of Khan, where they've got the insects. And
Yeah.
It's yeah. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to the hot take.
Hot take!
By the way, I can't believe they made that movie for $80 million. What's the box office on
Which movie?
Romulus?
Wow. That's pretty cheap considering how much.
Special effects are in it.
Yeah.
I
Unless they just did practical effects and they had people with upset tummies. It's hard to say. It could be. It could be a really good ad for Miralax. We don't know.
Good Lord. Why?
It's pretty proud
Well,
of that joke.
I guess it only did
What was
41.5 mil and then 66 international.
They're still going up against Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, which crossed
Right.
And
Oh
a
yeah.
billion already.
and it ends with us. So it's going up against a lot of big films.
Anyway, hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we keep backtracking today. I apologize if this is your first time listening to the podcast. But I just thought this one was funny and it sent the Angry Bear off a ledge, I believe. Is a Pop-Tart a ravioli?
No, it's not. It's a pastry.
Okay, why?
First of all, it's sweet. Okay, I looked
Oh,
up the
no,
definition.
no.
Go ahead, let her finish.
No.
I'm gonna let you cook.
Let her dig herself a hole first.
Yeah,
let's go for it.
She does.
Yeah.
Watch.
I legit read you the definitions of what a
Go ahead.
or what a Pop-Tart is and what.
We almost said pastry, so now you're confused. We've got her, Josh. We've got her.
No, it's a Pop-Tart is an American brand of a toaster pastry
You're just saying words. You're not describing anything.
consisting of a sweet filling sealed inside 2 layers of
Sealed
thin,
inside of something, you say?
a thin
Oh. Is it
rectangular
crimped?
pastry crust. Pastry crust is not the same as a nude.
A dull noodle.
So,
So to be clear,
like, could you put like tomatoes
That's-
inside
that
a
is-
ravioli? Could
That-
you?
Yeah, but
that's a fruit.
but that's not,
Could you crimp the edges of the ravioli
believe you
before
can.
you cooked it?
Okay, but that's still a noodle. That's not a
So
pastry.
if you have 2 layers that have crimped edges with a fruit on the inside, that sounds a lot like a Pop-Tart, doesn't it, Josh?
It sure does.
That sounds like a Pop-Tart to me. A Pop-Tart is a ravioli.
I'm going to go a step further, guys.
Go.
I've been
Let
waiting.
him cook.
I've been waiting for this moment for a while. May I introduce you to the cube rule of food identification? Go ahead. Go to cuberule.com in your spare time, people.
Cuberule.com.
In your spare time at home. You're going to love this website. First off, the very first thing it asks are hot dog sandwiches, a question that's near and dear to the Quad's heart. And the cube rule basically starts to identify foods by the location of their structural starch. And if you scroll down, you have things like toast, which has a structural starch on the bottom with something on top. You have sandwich, 2 starches. Taco, 3 starches, in which they would consider a hot dog a taco by structural starch.
Ooh.
Interesting thought.
I like that.
Interesting thought.
Although I will say a hot dog is a hot dog, just because you can take it out of it.
Because you can take it out of it.
Yeah.
We've discussed this
Yes.
4 years ago.
Ad
now
nauseum.
y'all are being hypocrites.
Quiche.
Oh, yeah.
An open top.
I like it.
But let's get over to calzone. And in calzone, you have things like a burrito, a corn dog, a whole pie with a topper on it, dumplings, Pop-Tarts, and Uncrustables.
That is the dumbest thing
Oh
I think
my
I've ever
God.
Because
seen
it is
in
a
my
structural
life.
starch.
Just round of applause for Josh
Was
Cleve.
ravioli on there?
It
Thank
sure
you
was.
so much.
It doesn't matter because
Thank you so much.
It's completely different.
It's not completely
So
different.
are we calling everything raviolis now?
Anything that has a structural starch that is closed, crimped, with a filling is considered a
Well,
ravioli.
guess what? Did you
Bam.
know there's little holes?
Thank you guys for listening to Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris from Haley the Bear, producer Josh. We love you, Ryan. We miss you, but make sure you go say, you know what's up. And we're out.